Good Saturday morning, everybody. Glad to have you here today. Thank you for being here. If you will, like, share, comment on the post, and then if you're able, if you like, you can join me in Philippians chapter 2, beginning in verse 19. We're going to look at a few verses that I hate to say it this way, but may not be a treasure trove of theology, but there is a great example, great lesson for us here. And it's kind of a long passage here, but I want to read it to you. And I just want you to listen to how Paul describes young Timothy, his relationship with him, his love for him, his confidence in him. And as he says here, I hope in the Lord Jesus to send Timothy to you soon, so that I too may be cheered by news of you. For I have no one like him, who will be genuinely concerned for your welfare, for they all seek their own interest, not those of Jesus Christ. But you know Timothy's proven worth, how as a son with a father he has served me in the gospel. I hope therefore to send him just as soon as I see how it will go with me, and I trust in the Lord that shortly I myself will come also. Again, there's maybe not a great deal of theology there to build our churches on or to write books about, but there is a great example for followers of Jesus Christ as we co-labor, as we work together. Timothy is Paul's protege. He calls him his son in the faith. And Timothy is an example of a servant, of an humble servant. And Paul says, I hope to send him to you because I don't have anybody else like him. I don't have anyone else to send that even compares to young Timothy. Verse 21, he basically says everybody else, they're in it for their own good. They're in it for their own glory. They're not trying to live for Jesus, but Timothy, he is a young man who really wants to serve God and wants to honor the kingdom, build up the kingdom, and he has the same mind as I do and wants the absolute best for the church at Philippi. Timothy has the same love for the church, same love for the Lord that Paul had. And so sending Timothy is like sending a small piece of himself. And so Paul reminds them here of his character, how he has proven himself over and over, that he demonstrated that while he was working with Paul. And so he says, I'm going to send this young man to you because I have the utmost confidence in him. And I've mentioned this, I know several times as we've been doing these studies, but there is, again, a great lesson here on two different sides. Again, one of them, Timothy, was Paul's protege. Paul was pouring into Timothy. Paul was developing Timothy. Paul was trying to teach young Timothy and train him up to make him into a great man, a great minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Timothy was taking time to learn. He was willing to sit and learn and follow in Paul's footsteps and learn from Paul's example. Those are two things that I think the church today is desperately in need of, that is missing for the most part in our church today, and is really hindering our churches from moving forward the way they should, the way they could, and that is the older believers, the older women taking in the younger women, the older men taking in the younger men, as the Bible instructs us to, and being a mentor to them, being an example to them, teaching them, training them up, leading them in the things of God, and then the other side is young men and young women who are willing to set aside as Paul calls it here, seeking their own interest, their own desires, their own wants, and their own glory and prestige, to take the time to learn from those who have gone on before them, who have already walked down that road. Some of my, and I'm not holding myself up as being great at this, but I have been fortunate to have some older men in the ministry over the years who I have been able to learn from, who I've been able to call on, who have been willing to step up and without me asking, tell me when they thought, hey, maybe you need to rethink that. Maybe that's not. Maybe you need to rethink that decision, or maybe you need to think about this or that. And we're not. I feel like the church is really lacking in this department of pouring into others, helping others, and then being willing to receive that teaching and that instruction. And so I would challenge you today, no matter where you are. Maybe you are further along in your Christian journey, and I would ask you, do you have someone who you are intentionally, purposefully planned, taking time each week to sit down with them and bring them along and teach them and share with them, talk with them, help them in their walk with the Lord. But no matter where you are in the journey, maybe you are further along. Do you have somebody who you're willing to listen to? Have you got somebody who you're getting some wisdom from as well? I think if we were to take that example of Paul and Timothy here, we could see great strides, great progress in the church today. I want you to think about that. Just again, think about that. Am I pouring into anyone, and am I being poured into? Am I helping someone in their journey, and am I being helped in my journey? Something to think about. You have a great day. We'll see you here Monday morning.